What's up everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Into the Spiderverse trailer and breaking it down frame by frame. Let's go. You won't believe the amount of effort and detail that's gone into making every single frame of this trailer, so let's dive right in. First up, check out the negative space and clean silhouette of this pose. It's so easy to read and understand the movement. And look at those smears. Did you notice how the smear changes colour from the leading hand, emphasising the action and leading the viewer's eye in that direction? And this use of negative space is consistent throughout all the poses, with a nice stretch in the leg showcasing all the energy that's gone into the pose. Plus, these added smears further enhance the speed at which Miles is travelling. The camera lagging behind is also a great touch because this is something that happens in real life. And this pose with such a strong line of action, just look at that silhouette. It's a great example of a dynamic pose. You've got simple versus complex and it works great. This next scene showcases great character work. Just in this pose alone you can see Miles is in a rush, struggling to put his bag on and his eyes are slightly shut. Also, the way he runs towards the camera isn't in a straight line. It's kind of a zigzag pattern. It adds more character and visual interest to what would otherwise be Miles running to class. And this web slinging scene is sick. Notice how the tip of the web is always pointing in the direction that it's going, and the rest of the web is curled up, anticipating the quick shootout that happens over a single frame. Now, the use of negative space and the clear separation from the environment in this next pose is so effective, with a great style frame that follows. And this posing of Spot, it's so awkward. It's not the same as a normal confident villain. His body language is almost nervous here. And this strange pose that's almost otherworldly. There's a subtle S-curve in the line of action here with his knees pointing slightly inwards. It's very strange to look at and it's quite fitting for the character design we have here. Personally, one of my favourite details is coming up next, check this out. When Miles' mum is angry at him for getting a B in Spanish, that snap VFX is the colour scheme of the Puerto Rican flag, and that's because she herself is from Puerto Rico. It's such a nice detail that emphasises her emotion and where it's coming from. Miles' spidey sense seems to have evolved or changed since the first film, which could be an indication of character growth or development. Now this is a nice smear and the door mesh is slightly curved. This further emphasises the speed in which Miles is leaving the room. Now the composition in this next shot is great with Spider-Gwen. Notice how the desaturated background makes it stand out. This is a great dynamic pose for this next character, with very strong shape language, with a suggestion that something significant is about to happen with her left hand, and it does. Another similar pose with this character, with a bit of asymmetry on the left side, very dynamic. Now take note of this hand-drawn VFX, as you'll notice later in the trailer, the VFX slightly changed from universe to universe. Now this is a very sharp silhouette of Emmanuel here, very angular features, which is often stereotypically villainous, which to be honest would give the impression that he's the main antagonist for the film. Now look at the different ways that each character is traversing the environment. They're not all running in the same direction. Some of them are swinging, some of them are running, some of them are walking. Another example of the angular character designs, they're so sharp and villainous. If you look closely, you can see the line work making a very sharp point, making them stand out even more. Like here on the right side of the screen, you can see his shoulder actually quite rounded, but the line work adds that sharp angle right back in. Now this next shot of Peter walking on the ceiling adds a lot more interest instead of just having him walking on the ground. Now this is another great web swinging scene. There's a nice silhouette here, and look at this. Miles winds up and throws down, again with the left side and again with the right, each time slightly longer and more aggressive with each motion. The combination of these three movements is really nice and it's really easy to watch. And look at this at the end, Miles' face is still in view as his hand comes towards the camera. Now a common mistake would be to have the hand totally cover the screen, but leaving that gap with Miles' face shows us the emotion of the character at the same time. This ghosting effect looks amazing. Here's more examples of Spider-Man 2099's angular design. You can really see the line work doing its thing here. This scene is a great example of body mechanics as Spidey swings through the scene and changes direction. You can see the tension of the webs as he pulls it with one of his hands and adjusts his body. He's not just rotating in mid-air. You can see how he's moving and the physicality of each pose. And this is another example of how the VFX is different to the ones that were shown earlier, emphasising it's a completely different universe. Now there's a nice impact frame here, swapping the colours of the characters. It draws the audiences in and emphasises the impact on screen. This shot is quite similar to the shot in the first film where Miles is running along the cars in New York. Could be something similar, who knows. Another style frame as the webs are shooting out of Mars's web shooters, and there's a second style frame as Manuel's slicing them up. Some nice smears in here too, showing so much energy in this movement. This is a nice character design with Scarlet Spider, and it's something we see across the whole trailer, all these little touches to tie into the comic references. These crowd shots have so much detail in them. Again, like we've seen in the rest of the trailer, there's so much variety in all of their locations. Some are hanging, some are standing, all of them are on different sides of the environment. Now this shot of Mars slipping through someone else's legs is great. Starts off with such a dynamic pose, the webs pointing in the direction that he's going in, then that stretch, each limb following the path of the motion he's going to take, so smooth. Nice touch having this Rorschach spider on the therapist wall, and then in blast all the Spider-Men and women, and we even have a spider horse. That's it. Thanks for watching everyone, and if you're new here, please give this video a like and comment down below which is your favourite point in the trailer. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all things animation. I'll post new videos every week and you don't want to miss out. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.